Stanley Tucci cooked in my kitchen at home, and he washed up.
Do you want to hear a secret?
Mm-hmm. Go on.
I'm sort of sick of him.
Hello, I'm Nick Grimshaw.
And I'm Angela Hartnett.
And this is Dish from Waitrose. Today, we are having an Easter special lunch with Siobhán McSweeney, everybody. There she is.
Woo, woo, woo.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
And welcome
Welcome.
to
Thank
Dish.
you.
Cheers. It's the table's there we go. Cheers. We're starting today's dish with a drink and snack in honour of your good self, because we heard that champagne and salt and vinegar hula hoops was what
thing.
you had when you won a BAFTA a year ago.
Yeah, nearly coming up to a year.
Nearly coming up to a year.
But
BAFTA, that's right. You can clap a BAFTA. A BAFTA gets a clap a year
Yes,
on,
of
and every
course.
year on.
Yeah, do you take it back after the year is over? Is it
Yeah,
sort
you know
of
that,
like
you go
the
back.
gerbil at school, you know,
Yeah.
then you have to bring it back or something. Yeah, champagne and
Yes,
salt and vinegar, hula hoops.
It's a great mix, actually.
Yeah.
Where was that? At the BAFTAs, they were like, here, have a glass of champagne and a hula hoop.
No, I went home early from the BAFTAs. I mean, it wasn't that fucking early, but like people were still partying. I just felt overwhelmed and deeply, deeply tired. And you know that I sort of wanted to go home and have a cry.
Oh, really?
Not because I was sad, but just the sort of build-up of stuff.
But the emotion of it all.
The emotional aspect of it
yeah,
all.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I so wasn't expecting it. And I really wanted it, but not in a sort of weird way, but as in like, wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't that be great?
I'd love that so much. And then I went home, opened a bottle of champagne by myself, and I have a multi-pack of hula hoops, and I took out just the salt and vinegar ones, and I ate those. You only get two.
You only get two.
So I wasn't a
in the pack,
complete animal.
No,
Yeah.
two's good. I love opening a bottle of champagne for one.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
lovely. You've got a BAFTA in it.
Yeah. That's when I am an animal,
Yeah, a bottle of champagne. Do you get the BAFTA that day? Does it come home? Like you travel home with the mask?
Yeah.
Oh,
but,
that's fun.
But it doesn't have the little
Name thing.
Okay.
the name thing.
Yeah.
And the name thing, because Lisa got hers and the lovely cert and in a thing. And I was like, how come you have yours? She said, of all the humans, I knew that you would be the one that would end up not getting. That it would be stuck in Royal Mail somewhere. Or like, it's gone to the wrong address or something, you know. And I'm like, okay, but it finally arrived. But like, you're going, oh my God, like the brass plaque and it has your name in it and everything. And then it has double-sided sticky tape at the back for you to attach it to. You're like, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Is that all it is? Bit of double-sided tape. Oh.
Really strong, because I did try to take it off because I put it on wonky by accident. So it does the job. You can't, so it's a bit like...
It's really stuck.
It's really double-sided
And then you have a
tape.
wonky BAFTA.
Yeah, I do. Of course I have a wonky BAFTA.
Yeah.
Of course I have a
Of
wonky
course, it's very
BAFTA.
on brand.
It
Yes.
is very on brand. Everything about the BAFTA is pretty wonky when it comes...
Yeah.
And BAFTA and me is a wonky combination.
You won the BAFTA, by the way, we should say, for Sister Michael in Derry Girls. And you always wanted to act from a young age, didn't you? Like
Yeah.
it was always a life ambition. And were your family supportive? Were they encouraging?
No, God, no. No.
Okay. Good
No.
to hear that, because everyone goes, oh, yes, everyone loves it. Because
No.
mine were like, when I said I wanted to do the radio, were like, get a real job.
Get
shut
a
up.
real job.
So they were quite anti-acting.
Literally, one of the last things my mother said was, would you not retrain as a teacher?
Right.
Please stop this. Like, she died. And me going, no, I really think that I have something to say to the world. She was like, oh, for God's sake, what a waste of an education. Dad.
That's what you said in your speech.
Yeah, literally, like even... I broke their hearts. I broke their hearts because you have to, to have people that would have supported you. I think if they had supported me from day one, wanting to be an actor, I don't think I'd be an actor right now, because there's nothing to fight for then, and not in a sort of contrarian kind of way, but to understand that what you're choosing won't be a given, and that it's a very stupid thing to choose, and to be sort of weigh up the consequences of what you're losing out on if you do choose this strange life. You know, you do lose out on an awful lot of stuff. You gain loads.
Yeah.
But you do lose.
But your dad was still around for your success.
Yeah, and he was utterly unimpressed by it.
Right.
And very sort of the only thing he would sort of say about it was and you get paid for that. I'm like, yeah, evidently, I think so. I mean,
I hope so.
I hope so. I mean, not always. And not for a long, long time. So his was like, because of course their objection to the career was the lack of financial security.
Yeah, of course.
And when you come from, you know, there weren't many generations out of clinging onto the side of a cliff, you know, like. It's a very reasonable thing to want your kids.
It's a caring dismissal.
Yeah.
It's
Utterly.
like it's out of care rather than like.
Utterly. And
being
also,
pushed
let's call a spade here. They were looking at their daughter, who, I mean, I couldn't cycle a bike till I was like 9 without stabilizers. I'm still unsure about laces. You know, like there are a few things that, and they're like, and she wants to be an actress, right?
Yeah.
We don't. I don't think it's going to happen.
Let's talk about your new show, where your new boss is essentially like Mickey Mouse because it's a brand new show on Disney.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that Mickey approached you for the rut? No, I'm joking. The show's called Extraordinary.
Extraordinary, yeah. Disney. I got the mouse called, and if the mouse calls, you answer that call, don't
As
you?
the old saying goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, when we got, oh God, it's such a lovely show. When we got the call. Myself and my agent, we laughed for 20 minutes because, of course, I'm stupid. I don't know what his excuse is. He should know. He's literally my agent. I was like, but that's only kids' shows, isn't it? Am I like going to be a puppet or something amazing? And then I read the scripts and I was like, these are really good and totally not for kids.
And the premise of the show is a really good premise. Is essentially when people hit 18, they develop a superpower.
That's
essentially.
right. Yeah, so it's set in a parallel London.
Yes.
And that when you're 18, you get a superpower. My daughter, her superpower hasn't kicked in. So it's that wonderful framework where you get to explore the idea of being in your early 20s and feeling like a loser because all your friends have it sorted and you're the loser who can't do anything. And it's just brilliant. I mean, it's sort of like a universal theme and done with these very specific boundaries. And it's great. Like London looks fabulous in it.
Yeah.
East London looks great in it, you know?
Uh-huh.
I was like, I'm a Londoner.
Let's do it proper Londoner.
Let's do it.
I want to talk to you about some of the superpowers.
Yes.
Because some of the superpowers in the show are really nuts, and I'd love to have been there for the ideas meeting.
Yeah,
So we have a bum that 3D prints stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think would be handy.
Yeah, very handy.
Like,
very
really?
handy and comes in very useful in series 2, actually. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
My secret power would be that if, I don't know if it's a power or a wish, that if I said, tomorrow I'm going to New York, I just go to bed and I wake up in New York.
Oh, that'd
So
be
I don't
good.
have to travel anywhere.
Oh.
I just arrive there.
Oh,
So
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Sugar. What's yours?
Excuse me, I'm copyright.
I think I'd quite like to not be tired, ever.
Oh.
So you don't need to sleep. Do you know what I mean? Because so many things are
that's
like,
a good
I'm
one.
tired, or...
Have you heard of napping?
Oh, yeah, come on.
Do you know how long my naps are
How
now?
long do you go for?
2 hours on the dot.
Stop.
Honestly, I'm like, I'm going to have to incorporate this into rehearsal time.
my
Like,
God, 2
2 hours
hours.
later, ping, eyes
Ding.
wide open,
Oh, wow.
feel
Do you
like
ever wake
death.
up weird from a nap? Because
Weird.
sometimes I wake up spooked, like, and like you don't know where you are or what's going on in the world. No. Oh, wow. You guilt-free nap.
No, I wake up like physically awful.
Yes.
Like,
But any guilt?
yes.
Yeah, I get guilt, and that's off my dad. My therapist made me speak to my dead dad about my sleep guilt.
Did he answer?
No, but she said it was good that I spoke to him.
Oh.
And then she said, when you get home, every time you want to have a nap, speak to him. And I was like, yeah, sure. But then I thought, no. Bit spooky.
What if he answered?
I know. You lazy bastard.
Yeah. Damn it. Daddy, can you hear me?
And also Mish, my boyfriend, shames me for napping. He goes mad about napping. He like wakes me up and goes, wake up. And I'm like, I'm napping.
Dump the f***er.
And he's like, you're not doing... I might, you know.
Yeah.
It's mean.
That's abuse.
Yeah.
These are hot, be careful. Like,
Oh, I thought you said he is hot.
I
Be
thought you said
careful.
he's hot. I was like,
He's
well,
hot. Be careful. He can't do better.
No.
He can't do better.
Actually, you can't. He is hot.
That's exactly what I think Angela would say as well. Like, no, he's punching.
hot,
He's
be careful.
punching.
You won't get any
Do whatever he asks.
Okay, food's arrived.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's food time. Oh, I thought that was it.
Oh my
Wow.
This is our Easter special. So you don't like
yes.
celery, do you? So
No.
I've got just carrots and onions there for you,
my
my love,
God.
and a bit of garlic.
Thank you.
Are you into a bit of garlic?
Yes, I am.
Oh my God, that looks.
And then some
ridiculous.
lovely lamb.
Look at the lamb. This lamb looks
shoulder.
amazing.
Oh, it's got a big shoulder, that lamb.
Big shoulder.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, a lamb's that. It's like,
Had it.
Right, Neil, sorry.
Neil, that's
Neil.
it, come on. Neil's
Freudian
Angela's
slip
husband.
there.
Oh, I see.
She
okay.
calls me Neil.
And
yeah.
then potatoes.
Do you know what I'm loving about this, apart from everything, is that you're not asking me to serve myself because nobody needs to see that on a podcast.
So we got for lunch today for our Easter special, slow roast lamb shoulder with beer and carrots. This is a recipe by Julius Roberts. I thought initially that was Julia Roberts. I was like, wow.
Do you think she has a good... I'd say she's got a few good recipes.
Julia Roberts, 100%.
I reckon.
Definitely.
What sort of area of food do you think Julia Roberts is cooking?
Do you know, I wouldn't be surprised if she did lamb shoulder. She would do event cooking, wouldn't she?
Yes, I think
She'd
so.
do a good Thanksgiving meal.
Yes.
And a good Christmas, I'd say.
A good spread.
Yeah. And she's really good with like one vegetable.
Yeah. It's like Julia's famous carrot.
Yeah.
A definitely thing. So this is a recipe not by Julia Roberts, but Julius Roberts. Do you like Julia Roberts?
I think she'd help with the wash up.
Yeah, she would. She
I
would.
think she was probably reared well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You know who else also
I love
very
weird.
famous? Stanley Tucci cooked in my kitchen at home, and he
Did
washed
you?
up.
Did he?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Reared
He came-
well.
We came, did filming in the house. Then he came. He goes, "I'm washing up," and he didn't wash. Did all the dishes.
Do you want to hear a secret?
Go on.
I'm sort of sick of him.
Stanley,
I
she
love
loves
everything.
you.
Not of the man himself. I've
Well,
no
I don't
doubt.
know. It did sound like you were
It
sick
did.
of the
I'll
man
rephrase
himself.
that.
there,
Oh,
to
we've
be
got
fair,
another
Siobhan.
quote. Hold on, I need to finish my champagne. Stanley would approve. But,
Stanley would
like,
approve.
you know the way that like, oh, he's so handsome in the arms, and oh, he doesn't need to cook. I just want to listen to his. Leave the man alone.
You're sick of the fans.
I am
you're
sick
of.
of the fans.
He's treated like a piece of meat.
If
Oh,
he's
like a bit of
anything
lamb.
like the shoulder of lamb, then
He is very tender. Angela, tell us
Poor
about
Stanley.
this shoulder of lamb, because this is perfectly cooked.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
Slow
it
and
looks
long.
fantastic. Slow and long. Okay, that's
Low
how I do
heat.
my hair.
Yeah. So
slow and long.
yeah.
Like most of the theatre I do.
So go on, you get the oven what, dead up?
So first of all, Julius does this method, which I've never done before, but it works. He grills the lamb first to colour it
grills
all
it?
over. Yeah, so really hot grill.
Oh.
Turn it over, get a really lovely colour on both sides of your shoulder. Then he has carrot, celery, onion, garlic, bay leaf, fennel seeds, all in the tray. Put your lamb on top and add beer to it, like lager.
Wow, just
Re-
a can of lager.
Yeah, just like about 300 millilitres of lager. And then cover it really tightly with foil and parchment paper, and then in the oven for about 4.5, 5 hours.
And how come it doesn't go dry? Because it's in like a little steam package with
Exactly. Like, you're learning, aren't you? Look at you, Nick.
the beer. Because I've done this
Oh, God, I
before.
got lamb down me. I'm always
I've tried to make like a.
And
Yeah,
hence
see, I should've
this,
done
this
that.
sexy rig
Yeah.
out.
I've
Yeah,
tried
go
to
on.
do like a lamb tagine thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a tagine pot.
Yeah.
And dry as anything when I got it out after 4 hours.
But did you cover it properly with foil and stuff?
No, I didn't,
Okay,
Angela,
there you
no.
go. Okay. What can I say, Nicholas? If you're not going to listen
So
to me and do
essentially-
your
Put
own
Put it in the
thing,
microwave for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Dry as well. No idea how.
Couldn't
Yeah.
believe it.
Couldn't believe it.
Couldn't believe it.
weird.
And then our sides, what is on that broccoli that's making it so delicious?
So on the broccoli, it's the thing you love: anchovies, fennel seed again, touch of garlic in there, lemon, and basically it's sort of like a salsa verde without the green. And then you need that to break the lamb, because the lamb's very
Yes.
fatty.
Yeah.
You need the sharpness there. And then I've sprinkled a little bit of chopped parsley and mint and fresh lemon again.
And is this an Angela recipe?
No, this is all
This is
Julius.
Julius.
It's
Oh,
all
wow.
Julius.
Wow.
And-
Our homage to Julius.
And the spuds?
The spuds, the dauphinoise, he's, again, it's Julius's recipe, and he's made it slightly different. There's certain friends who would not agree, but I think they taste delicious. He's put onion in there and garlic.
Yeah.
And then cream and milk, lots of thyme, And then again, not cooked, just slowly cooked, but nice caramelised on top.
My dauphinoise are a bit like your tagine. They come out very, very dry and very boring. Very sort of like, we tried.
Yeah, that is really good. That's really creamy.
It really is. And as a result, I've never gotten dauphinoise. I've been like, okay.
Yeah, same.
They're like.
That tastes more like dauphinoise butter with potatoes.
Yeah. We do. It is good to add a little bit of butter.
That's why it's yummy. If you want to try this recipe or any of the recipes that we do on Dish, waitrose.com/dish recipes. Also on there, they suggest a wine pairing. We're going for a red wine with lamb and what is it?
Vino Laurea Reversa Rioja. It's a rich, smooth and elegant. This is a Rioja Reserva full of juicy red berry flavours, and it's a must with lamb. Do we agree? Do you like red wine?
I love red wine.
Because what I realised that I thought I'm going to love this woman, and I do love this woman, but there's that tiny bit when you said you didn't like a Negroni. I was like, that broke my heart, really.
You don't like a Negroni?
I was like, I love a Negroni.
No, earwax.
Yeah.
I think that's another of your Stanley, it's that...
Think about
you
it.
Think about it.
Earwax.
Earwax.
Unfortunately, now when I have one, I am going to think that
of
because
earwax.
of you. I know I'm having one tomorrow for lunch with
and
friends.
And also, it's the Stanley thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's the sort of Negroni, the so have cunts just sort of randomly ordering a Negroni. Have a think about what you want. Is it always what you want? Do you always want watery earwax? Surely be to God, there's a time in your life when you don't want watery earwax. Honour that.
Please.
Can I ask more about the lamb?
Please do.
Yeah, sure.
We would love that.
But it's really good lamb.
Yes.
No, but the lamb is really good.
No, and I think, it makes sense. Buy it from someone who's looked after their animals well. Waitrose do great lamb there, if you can buy it from the counter. You might have to pre-order it, but otherwise you can buy. But also I think something like shoulder you really can't go wrong with because it is that slow and long.
I make my stew with lamb neck.
Oh, nice. Yeah, lovely.
And it's really lovely because of the bones. You get so much flavour. I'm sort of weirdly into meat in that I rarely buy it.
Yeah.
And I believe that we should eat less of it, etc., etc. So when you do have it...
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And it's only recently we've been sort of accustomed to the idea that we can get whatever we want whenever we want.
Yeah.
I mean, I should be allowed to have whatever I want whenever I want.
But not everyone.
But the rest of you... Because I have a BAFTA.
You have a BAFTA.
The rest of you...
Do you like to cook?
I go through phases of it.
Okay.
I've been so busy the last couple of years is that for the first time in my life I haven't enjoyed cooking because of the time aspect because I would always give it time and it's so psychological like the batch cooking the idea of cooking for other people. It's such a gift to be able to give other people, and I'm still really bad at cooking for other people, not because of the food that I'm giving them, which I'm sure varies in quality, but because of my ability to sort of relax around it.
Right.
Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying it? Would you like it more? No, it's fine. It's probably shit. I'm just going to take the whole thing and burn it.
We had Saoirse Monica Jackson come join us a couple... When was it? Last season?
Last season,
I was going to say a couple of weeks ago. It's bloody ages ago, actually, now.
Long
she
time.
was such a scream, and she told us this really great story of when she found out that she had the role in Derry Girls. And she was working on a building site.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was,
It was a building site.
Was she?
Yeah, like she was like the... foreman? Snagger.
Yeah.
So she'd check on new build houses to make sure like the door handle was on. Weird job.
Yeah.
For Saoirse, I feel. Where were you when you heard about Derry Girls? And did you hear it?
I had just finished building a house.
Right. And that's how you and Saoirse met.
And Saoirse was checking.
I was just putting down the last brick. So I knew Lisa McGee and Liz Lewin before. I had worked with them before. And before I worked with them, we would make each other laugh a lot. They'd be, the sort of London Irish gang, essentially, And I remember her, like, years beforehand going, I've got this idea for the show about a group of schoolgirls, and I think there's a part in there for you. And I keep saying this because I don't think people believe me, but I genuinely thought she meant one of the girls. And I remember even at the time going, fuck, it'll be hard to get into that uniform. Yeah, we could do it.
Give it a go. Yeah, give it a go. Give it a go.
You see, it took them ages to cast it because they had to get the right combo of kids.
Of course.
And it took them so long, and I believe that the kids were like auditioning for each other's parts. But I had auditioned, and I was so nervous, and I did it, and they were like, "Yeah, that was really good," and I went, "Yeah." Did I get it? And they were like, "No, well, we'll be in touch." And I went, "Yeah, cool, whatever, cool." And then it was that really weird situation where your boss is your friend,
Right.
and they're not trying to mention the elephant in the room,
Right, of course,
and the elephant is you.
Yes.
And so I remember our mutual friend was out on having a few drinks and texted me going, "Come out, I'm having tequila in Old Street with Liz." And I was like, yeah. And then I went, "No, I can't go because she'll think that I'm only there to go, cast me."
Please.
Or have you cast me? Am I being cast right now? But then I was like, but I want to drink tequila in Old Street. And I was like, oh, jeepers, what do I do? Because also, do I not go and see my friend? So it was that sort of push and pull, which I don't think will ever get easier.
No,
but understandable as well, because it was all coming from good places on everybody's behalf, In the end, the lure of tequila brought me there. And I remember just sort of like so concentrating on not mentioning it.
Yeah.
I was like, it was a good audition. I know who she is. Who the else can play it? Like,
Yeah.
who are they? Little did I know they were asking everyone. Literally everyone, because I think I've heard in the grapevine that the channel thought that Sister Michael was actually an older character, because you would sort of think more stereotypically that a very jaded headmistress would be sort of an older nun. But what I understood and what Lisa really wanted was the idea that, like, Sister Michael came out of the womb like this, probably in a wimple,
right.
and she hasn't changed.
Yeah.
The end of the tequila night, I remember Liz sort of saying, "Don't worry, we haven't forgotten, we haven't decided." And just having that, I just remember just sort of almost again going to the loo just to have a cry, because of the build-up of emotion around it, because I really wanted it. And then when I got it, it felt like home. It felt like bliss. I was so happy, and am still so happy.
We have to talk about the Great Pottery Throwdown, which is a staple in our household.
Is it? I'm so glad to hear.
Real staple. Well, you've got it all, haven't you? Bit of creativity,
Yeah.
a backstory,
Yeah.
a shared experience, emotion. I love it.
Jugs.
Yeah. It's
Crying men. My idea of a good night out.
Crying men. It's win, win,
does
win,
it
win,
all.
win. It's such a loved show. Do you feel that love?
Yes.
Do you? And how do you feel it? Do people message you? Do people shout it at you in the street?
I
Yes.
see what you mean.
Yes, they do.
But nothing to do with Patrick. I feel it making it.
Oh, really?
I feel it making it. It's a very special show to work on. I've no experience to compare it to, and because I have no other presenting experience, I am very lucky in they're letting it be led by me from a presentation point of view.
Yeah.
So I feel like the luckiest viewer in the world. That's sort of the place I place myself in. I will kill for my potters. It's a really weird bond I almost immediately get with when I see them. I just want, I want to protect these people. I want to really make sure they're okay.
I just love when someone's really into something.
It's
Like, I love a
so-
nerd. Like, when someone's
love a
obsessed
nerd.
with something, I think it's
I
great.
love a nerd.
I love that Brad Pitt loves the Great Pottery Throwdown.
I know.
How do we know
And we
Brad
love
Pitt
Brad.
loves it? How do we
So,
know
mate,
this?
is your mate, isn't he, Siobhan?
He's my stalker.
Obsessed is
It's
Brad.
embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
Brad,
how do we know about
please.
Brad
Sort it out.
loving this?
Please, I just want some time alone. There was some red carpet event or some like press junket he did or whatever, and he was like, "Oh yeah, the Great Pottery Throwdown." I really like it. It's just like he's in the room, isn't it?
Yeah.
He really liked it. We were like, "What?
What?
What? Why? Imagine Brad Pitt." Like sitting down watching the Great Pottery Throwdown, and we're like, Staffordshire flat packs. He's like, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and he's always eating in every film, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's probably like chomping on a muffin or something.
Yeah, watching it.
Yeah, curly whirly.
Okay, we come to the end of the show. Question for your chance to win a Waitrose goodie bag. It's essentially the big shop for
The
the
big
week
shop.
done for you. Siobhán, here is your question. You did a science degree whilst you were waiting to reveal yourself to the world as a thespian. We would like our tiny mind blown. Can you tell us anything scientific and factual, a theory perhaps, from your days in a white coat?
One thing that I can tell you, which might be of use and of comfort to you both, is that the shape of the ear and the way we receive sound waves means that when we hear ourselves on a podcast, we go, what the f*** is that? Who the hell is speaking? That's not me.
That's me.
Not what I sound like at all. I don't sound like that. I do not sound like a 13-year-old boy with a cold. I genuinely don't. The shape of the ear doesn't allow us to be able to hear ourselves back.
Wow.
So when we talk, we hear ourselves in one way. When we hear ourselves being played back, it's how we sound to other people, but we will never have heard that before.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because that's why I hate the sound of my voice.
Well, everyone says that,
Everyone
though. We
hates
all
the
do
sound
it.
of their voice for that reason. That's what I mean. So the way you think you sound, nobody else hears that. We're not built to be able to hear our
To
own.
hear ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, well, that goes
Weird.
into why I can't stand listening to myself on this podcast. Siobhán,
I think that was
great
brilliant.
facts.
Yeah, thank you.
The bag is yours. Siobhán McSweeney, thank you for coming to see us.
Thank you so much.
You've
I've
been
had
amazing.
such a lovely
That
time.
was so
Been
such a
such
lovely
fun.
time.
That
Thank
was
you.
so
Brilliant.
fun.
We
Thank
love you.
you, Siobhán.
Thank you again.
Siobhán, everybody!